Please welcome Product Marketing Manager Atlassian, Emily Dang, and Product Manager Atlassian, Vincent Wong.
Hello, London. We are so excited to be here today. We just heard about Atlassian's approach to ITSM, where every team marches to the beat of their own drum while still getting in the groove to create a rhythm. We've also heard how Jira Service Management brings development, IT, and business teams at Edenred and Avato together to create harmony across their businesses. Today, we want to take you behind the scenes of how all these hits are actually created.
The beats and rhythm in a song connect us in a way that allow us to move together as one. Our teams at Atlassian build products to help connect and make work flow across teams, similar to the way different instruments come together and blend into a melody. From development to IT, HR to facilities and beyond, we know that each team grooves to their own beat. But balancing this through autonomy with alignment ensures that teams can deliver great service across an organization.
Like a composer, there are many beats and sound to be involved to create a top hit. From creating the foundational tempo, building on the bass, and adding on the melody. All these different sounds come together to create the music that we know and love. Jira Service Management works pretty much the same way. We offer a whole range of capabilities that are powerful individually, but when put together, truly unleash your team to operate at high velocity. Today, we'll walk you through each of these capabilities and how your team can go from zero to amazing service delivery with Jira Service Management. When making music, a key to any good hit is a good beat. It's the foundation of the song. Jira Service Management is like a music studio. It offers a wide set of instruments for you to create the beat that you want. This gives the organization the power to set up the service offering quickly, but with the flexibility to customize the beat for the perfect fit. Let's take a look. So like a set of pre-made beats, Jira Service Management makes it easy to get started with a set of pre-made templates. We have templates covering major use cases like IT, HR, facilities, and when you heard earlier, we've also added a whole bunch more for many other teams, like marketing, analytics, finance, design, and much more. Each template comes with a unique set of request forms and workflow to get you going, and you get a fully functioning service desk in just a few clicks. But the default may be too generic for you. So let's take a look at the various elements that allow you to customize it for that perfect fit. First, we have request forms. These allow your team to capture relevant information from end users so your team can work more efficiently. As mentioned before, we provide a number of these out-of-the-box forms based on your templates. But it's also super easy to customize these or make even new ones. To start with, we have more than 300 plus pre-built request form templates that you can pick from. These covers all sorts of use cases from IT hardware returns, qualification, verifications, COVID check-in. If you can think of a form, we probably have it. These templates allow you to get started quicker because it means that you're no longer required to build the entire form yourself. You can either take the form as is, or you can extend it via our flexible and powerful form builder. The form builder supports a huge range of various field types, along with various ways to validate the information captured. And also, with dynamic field selection, allowing you to build logic into the form, which changes the flow of the form based on the responses, meaning you can capture the most relevant information from the employees. Lastly, as you've heard from the keynote earlier, we now support bringing in live data from our asset and configuration management platform as well. So all those asset data that you have can now be unleashed and selectable and unlocks even more power into the forms. Our no-code, low-code form builder makes it super easy to build the toughest of forms. Like our example here, turning what used to be endless and endless forms required to fill in for a new employee to be set up into one simple and easy-to-use forms that can be spread to many teams. Now, it's one thing to capture the right information of the request, but it's another thing to actually get it done. Workflow is the beat that drives the team together for request resolution. Workflows can take up many shapes. It can be super simple like this, where you're just trying to capture things that are to do, things that are in progress, and things are done. Or it can be something a lot more advanced, like this formal change management workflow, which has lots of different parts and steps coming together to allow you to accurately map your team and organization's process. With the Jira Service Management Workflow Builder, just like what we have shown you before with request forms, creating your own workflow or customizing an existing workflow can be done easily through the drag-and-drop interface. No coding required. Not only can you change the routing of the transitions or add new workflows, you can also add approval steps to your workflows. With approvals, it locks down the workflow until the approval is complete, meaning no one outside of the approval group can move the workflow forward. You can create rules on who mixes into that approval groups, how many approvers are needed, from very simple logic like either one or everyone in the group needs to approve, or to more advanced needs where certain numbers of each group of approvers needs to approve before it can move forward. Perfect for those approval that touches on many different teams. Now, now that you have the request form to capture the right information from your team and the workflow to ensure everyone follows the same process, how does request actually get routed from the form to the team? This is where queues come in. Queues enable your team to organize the customer request into sensible groupings and enable your team to quickly view, triage, and assign the request. You can use a set of pre-configured queues in your service project, or you can create your own custom one. With custom queues, you can choose the name, determine what requests are filtered into the queues, and what columns appear and how it's ordered. You have the flexibility to create queues that organize requests in a way that makes sense for your team. For example, you can create a queue for all the escalations that come through, or a queue for requests that have breached SLAs. Within the queue view, your team can easily triage an action on request directly within the queue view, from assigning the request to transitioning the workflow, allowing your team to work more efficiently. So, we've got a really sick beat going, but it just doesn't feel enough to add that melody on top just yet. It feels like something's still lacking, right? We need to add that bass line in. Just like the bass in the song, which I personally think is the most underrated and most important instrument as a bass player, Asset in Jira Service Management connects the beat and the rhythm, helping other parts of Jira Service Management blend in more smoothly. Let's take a look at how it works. Jira Service Management's asset platform allows you to store assets and any other data object you wish to track and link to your Jira issues. You define what object you want to store, so you can stay on top of these assets that are important to track for your company. When we say we can track anything, we really, really mean it. You can track your microservices, or your applications, or your low-level infrastructures, your employee or department information, or even other things like vehicles, or your guitars, or your goldfish, whatever. Whatever you can think of, you can throw it into our asset platform. You have full control over what data you store about each asset. This means that you can tailor your solution to meet your organization's needs. Unlike repository and configuration systems of the past, Jira Service Management's asset platform is flexible and open by design, so that it can address any need or any pain point that you want, whether that's storing data to drive elements in a request, tracking assets, or understanding your service map and underlying infrastructure dependencies. Let's take a bit deeper dive into how it all works. The asset platform has 3 levels of data hierarchy. Each is open and defined by your team. First, at the highest level, we have the object schema. This can be thought of as separate assets or data repository that can be linked to each other. This helps users break the data into logical, manageable chunks to help keep data updated and secure. Under the object schema, we have the object types. These help define the object that you want to store within the schema. Each of these have a set of attributes that are unique to that type of object. For example, if you want to store a bunch of network servers, you probably want information like host names, hardware specs across all of them. Or if you're storing vehicles, you want information like number plates, model, parking location, etc. Object types also support multi-level definition, like what we've shown here. Or you can keep it very simple and straightforward with just a singular object type in the schema. Lastly, beyond the object schema and object type itself, we have the object itself. This is where you can apply these attributes and relationships. Not only do we store these attributes in relationship, but we also store activity information like history, comments, or even linked Jira tickets to that object. On top of that, with the object graph view, you can easily visualize and navigate the relationships to your objects. Now, it's really great that you can store all these objects and relationships, but how do you actually get these objects into the asset platform in the first place? Well, there's a number of different ways. One is through importing. You can import via CSV, JSON, and a few more options. Or you can use our Insight Discovery tool available in the marketplace, which automatically scan your network and pull all this information in. And coming soon, we're also building out third-party API support and also integrations to some leading third-party partners. So you can connect to these third-party tools that you use, or use the APIs to connect to your own custom systems. All right, you have your beat, you have your bass sorted, forming a great foundation to your song. Now, we get to the fun part. It's time to lay in your melody, which I'll pass back over to Emily to walk you through.
Thanks, Vincent.
Oop.
The melody is super important, as it's the most well-known part of the song. This is exactly like incident and change management, both of which are critical and highly visible within your organization. The key to great incident management is understanding the cause as quickly as possible, so you can fix it and keep the rhythm going. Just like the lead guitarist, who helps control the highs and lows of the song while maintaining the melody. Let's see what this looks like in Jira Service Management. Almost all incidents start as an alert. These get triggered either manually or, more commonly, from the monitoring tools that you use. Jira Service Management supports more than 200 integrations for this purpose. The alert will then route to the right team and alert the on-call member to come take a look. This is all based on the on-call schedule, which allows your team to decide who gets called up and when, but it also allows for flexibility, like override or configuration for escalation policies. After the on-call team member determines it really is an incident, it can then be escalated to a major incident. This is where the jam really gets into high velocity. Our incident view brings together all the key information so your team can diagnose and resolve the incident as quickly as possible. From related alerts to the related services, this is where we can bring in the power of the assets platform, which means they can really dive in to see all the rich information for our affected services and applications, and view the full object details and the dependency map, making it easier and quicker to resolve the incident. On top of this information, it also pulls together all the relevant team members based on the type of incident of the services and business areas that are being impacted. And the team member can easily swarm on the incident within Jira Service Management with built-in conference bridge capabilities and our Zoom integration, but also with chat platforms like Slack and Microsoft Teams with our ChatOps capabilities. Within the incident view, the incident timeline shows the entire history of the incident with constant real-time updates keeping the entire team in sync, while also keeping the stakeholders in the loop with built-in stakeholder communication capabilities. We also try to make it easier for the team to identify the potential causes and roll back recent changes with our incident investigation view. You can dive into the details of the latest deployments for the affected services, and once identified, you can roll back to the last successful deployment right there within Jira Service Management. All right, the incident is finally resolved. That was high velocity. With one click, we can kickstart the post-incident review process. All the key information from the incident is exported over, and the team can come together to discuss what happened and how the team can prevent it from happening again. Now, on the opposite end of incident management is change management. Change management is the calming piano melody that complements the high-velocity guitarist we just heard. It's calming, it's coordinated, and it helps accelerate software delivery while managing risk. Jira Service Management's unique change management capabilities allow your dev and ops teams to operate with autonomy and alignment. With native integrations with leading CI/CD vendors, changes are automatically created as part of the code commit process. The automation-powered risk assessment engine sits in the middle and quickly scores the risk of a change. If it's a low-risk change, then it can be auto-approved and deployed. But if it's a high-risk change, it gets routed for additional approvals, and a change approval request is automatically created. The change request is shown directly within the CI/CD tool, so the development team has maximum visibility into what's actually happening. Again, just like the incident earlier, the change request pulls together all the key information automatically, such as the impacted services, applications, and infrastructure, and also the deployment information. We also automatically pull in contextual information to highlight the risk of the change with information from incidents, classroom changes, or freeze windows. So your team has all the information they need to process the change. All of this information makes it easier for your team to approve the change. And as Vincent walked us through earlier, there are many different approval rules that you can set up to make sure that you have the right approvers involved at the right time. Now, once the change is approved, the change team can use the calendar view to plan, organize, and visualize changes to see if any are overlapping or if there are any conflicts with freeze or maintenance windows. This gives them all the key information they need to drag and drop change into their preferred slot. Now that we have a great band and song going, there's no point if no one can actually find the song. We need to distribute the music through all the available channels. With Jira Service Management, we make this super easy by offering many different channels for employees to discover the services we offer. Just like music distribution, everyone has their preferred ways of getting access. We allow users to raise requests through the support channel of their choice. Email is like the vinyl. Very popular in the past, kind of died down, but making a comeback. Email is one of the core channels we support, and we allow your team to set up your own custom email address. The email experience is like chatting on normal email. You can reply normally and send attachments, and even approve service requests without making anyone leave their email client. On top of this, your team can customize the style and content of the email responses, so it can be plain and simple or aligned with your organization's branding. Next, we have our Help Center, which is a key channel for service as it offers a richer experience for our help seekers. With a built-in knowledge base, your help seekers can self-help and fix their problem without having to wait for anyone to respond. The great thing about the knowledge base capabilities in Jira Service Management is that they come out of the box, and they're powered by Confluence. This means you get all the power of the Confluence editing capabilities, like tables, macros, formatting, but no longer have to pay for a separate Confluence license for your agents. The Help Center also allows your team to customize the layout and organize it in a way that makes sense for your team. They can do this with the new topics capabilities or by pinning Service Desk on the main page, bringing in request types, knowledge articles, or even third-party links of their own picking. The full power of forms can also be unleashed in the Help Center, with all of the things Vincent set up earlier in dynamic fields. Different field types can all be used to capture the most accurate and relevant information. Now, after the user submits their request, they can keep track and manage all of the requests directly in the Help Center. But times are changing. We stream most of our music digitally. My whole team works remotely, and Elton John is doing his farewell tour. Chat tools are quickly becoming the digital headquarters of an organization. So it makes sense for us to provide the easiest way for them to get help directly where they work, through chat tools like Slack and Microsoft Teams. So how does it exactly work? Well, your employees can ask questions in a channel like how they normally ask for help. Then, by simply using an emoji reaction, the help experience kicks in. It can create a request type right away, or ask the employee to fill out a form so the agent can capture all the right information. A ticket is then automatically created, and a thread is started. For most other tools, this is where the experience stops. But that's not the case with Jira Service Management. When the agent responds, rather than going somewhere else, it's directly within the thread of the ticket. So you and the agent can converse just like you would with anyone else on Slack. And the best part is, your agent doesn't even need to touch Slack. They can simply continue working within Jira Service Management while the employee is on Slack. Meanwhile, all of these conversations are being synchronized both ways. And if that's not enough, we have our virtual agent capabilities coming very soon. On top of the chat experience I just showed, the virtual agent uses advanced machine learning and can understand the intent of a request, ask clarifying questions, and then either automatically resolve it with knowledge and actions, or direct it to a human with the same seamless flow for a speedy resolution. You've now created a top hit, and you've shared it with the masses, but how do you know who's actually listening to your song? Should you plan your next tour to be in Europe or South America? That's where custom reports in Atlassian Analytics comes in. These data capabilities in Jira Service Management ensure you have visibility across your organization and give you real-time views into how your service workflows are operating. Jira Service Management comes with many default reports, or you can make custom reports with metrics that are most relevant to your work. All reports can have custom date ranges and allow you to drill into the details to understand the makeup of the numbers. And with all of this data at your fingertips, you can run many different reports, from SLA performances, requests deflected, customer satisfaction, and a ton more. On top of these reports, you can also gather all of the charts into an easy-to-consume dashboard. This makes it easier to share views across your teams or to your leaders so they have one place to go to for all the metrics they need. But we know some of you want more than just data from one tool, and that's why we created Atlassian Analytics. Atlassian Analytics brings together all of your data across various tools and systems into one place. It's powered by the Atlassian Data Lake, where all Atlassian and third-party data sources are pre-modeled and enriched for analytics. So you can get a singular view across development, value delivery, and service quality. Atlassian Analytics enables anyone on your team, from knowledge workers to data analysts, to get interactive and customizable dashboards up and running quickly. There are many dashboards out of the box, and we also make it easy for your team to share the custom ones they make. It brings together data across different tools and systems. For example, here, as a service owner, you can now have visibility across your commits, incidents, changes, and your cloud costs, all in one place. All right. You have a top hit, the fans are loving it, it's easy to consume, and they're sharing it with all of their friends. But how do you truly take it up a notch? Well, what fun is music if you can't share it and collaborate and mix it with your other musicians? With automation, you can do that and more. Automation in Jira Service Management connects multiple teams, processes, and workflows together, so your organization can have a smoother service management experience, saving everyone time and effort. The power of automation is truly endless. They all follow a very similar and simple pattern. when something happens and it matches a condition, then an action occurs. This simple combination and its flexibility allows you to create many different rules, from automatically leaving a comment when a linked ticket is transitioned to fully automated workflows. We also offer you a wide range of pre-made rules to help your team get started even quicker. Once you've learned the power of automation, you can really start to see how it can truly amp up your service experience. For example, here we've set it up so that when a service request comes in, we use automation to automatically create assets within the asset platform by utilizing the information captured on the request. Or here, we've created a change management soaking rule, where we use automation to detect if there's been an incident in a lower environment within 72 hours after a change is auto-approved. If there is, we escalate the change. And if there isn't, it's pushed to production. Or you can even combine multiple rules together to orchestrate work across your organization. Here we have a set of rules that fully automate the employee onboarding process, orchestrating between HR, facilities, and IT to ensure that everything is ready for the new employee. We just walked you through how these different team players come together in Jira Service Management to create a chart-topping hit. From quickly getting started with pre-made beats and templates, to connecting your data with asset and configuration management, to making sure that the melody continues with incident and change management, and smoothing it all out with some automation. Now, I'd like you all to think of an Elton John song and a Metallica song. What's different about them? What's similar about them? Clearly, a lot. And I think we can agree that although Elton and Metallica are very different, they're still music. They're still creating top hits. Music can come in different genres, but the instruments and basis is the same, just like Jira Service Management. Everything we've showed you today can be used for all teams, as all teams are service teams. At the end of the day, service management is the same core set of practices, whether it's an HR service desk or one for IT. The key is making sure teams can groove to their own beat, and with the help of Jira Service Management, everyone can do exactly that while maintaining and balancing autonomy with alignment. These are just some of the capabilities within Jira Service Management that can help your teams get into the groove. Vincent and I encourage you all to attend all of the sessions today, talk to our ITSM experts to get even deeper into the products. And with that, I'd like to thank you all today for coming, and I encourage you to give Jira Service Management a spin for yourself. Thank you.